Well, 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 if it isn't the Dome team going into a cold and rainy Lambeau and coming out victorious. Detroit picked up its third straight win at Green Bay, and we're talking all about it right here on Inside the Pride.
Let's go. Caught. End zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Kirby Joseph, you just ended this ball game. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Lee McNeil leaning on him and dropping him. End zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. There we go. Oh, baby. Brian Branch intercepted it. This game is over.
This is Inside the Pride, presented by Whisker, maker of the Litter Robot. I'm Dannie Rogers. Detroit had no intentions of letting a little rain and wind inside Lambeau spoil their top spot in the NFC through 9 weeks. Instead, Detroit was as aggressive as ever, calling for 2 touchdowns on 4th down and a pick 6 that makes Detroit 2-0 in the NFC North.
Today, the 6-1 Lions face the 6-2 Packers. This is what you play for. A high-leverage game in one of the NFL's legendary stadiums. How big would it be if they were to come in here today and beat the Packers and start their divisional schedule with 2 road wins against 2 of the teams they know they're going to be battling throughout this season? Answer, it would be absolutely huge, but they're going to have to earn it. So here we go. Brandon McManus on 30-yard field goal attempt, hash mark left side. He sends it through. Green Bay leads this one 3-0. Lions set to get the football for the first time today. With time, looking, throwing, deep middle, complete. Sam Laporta down at the 22-yard line. 4th and goal for the Lions from just inside the Green Bay 3. Goff's got it back, looking, throwing, left side. Once on the makes the grab. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, what a throw that time by Jared Goff. Amon-Ra spinning and making the catch, getting 2 feet down, and the Lions take the lead. Spot down kick on the way. It is up, and it is no good. He missed it. McManus misses it to the left, and the Packers come up empty. Goff up under center, fakes the give to Montgomery, sets in the pocket, throws, caught Amon-Ra, Packer territory, inside the 40, and slides down to the 36-yard line. It was a 27-yard field goal attempt, middle of the field. Bates is ready, Fox the spot, there it is, kick away, up and good. Love takes the shotgun snap. Lions bring a late blitz. Love back, looking, being chased. Love throw, picked up on the line. Kirby Joseph, left side. He's gonna go, baby. Count it down. 5, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh, how big is that? How big is that? Pick 6. So we've hit halftime. It's a good half for the Lions. Offense, defense, special teams, all getting it done for Detroit. Deep back is Gibbs. Goff, quick throw, right side, got to complete Amon-Ra. Turns it up, gets to the 35. Amon-Ra out to the 40-yard line, picks up the first down. So 4th and 1 for the Lions from the 15. Goff out of the gun. Gibbs to his right. Jared takes the snap. Hands to Jameer. There he goes, inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. They just parted the seas and Jameer ran to the daylight. It is 3rd and goal from the 2 for the Packers. They hand it off. That's Wilson, right side, in for the touchdown. Packers get a little bit closer. It is 24-12, and they will go for 2. Love leans in, takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing, middle, caught. So the Lions will take over now with a chance to eat into that clock. Goff up under center. Takes, turns, gives to Montgomery, hesitates, big hole up the middle. There he goes inside the 35, down to the 30, and down to the 29-yard line. It is another first down for the Lions, gain of 11. So this game is all but over now. Jared takes, gives to Montgomery. No, he's going to throw it to Montgomery. Montgomery makes the catch at the 25, shakes a man there, gets down to the 20-yard line, picks up a block to the 15, and he slides down to the 13-yard line. That's your ball game. A terrific road victory for the Lions.
I don't think it matters where we play at. Doesn't matter about the conditions. We knew that coming in here. We want to know if we validated anything. Are we going to validate being able to play in the weather? It doesn't matter, man. That's just the way you're built. What do you want, man? Break it out.
Get inside, man. Like I said the other day, man, as long as we going, man. Family on 3, family on me, 1, 2, 3. Family.
Detroit is back on the road for Week 10. They'll head down to the Lone Star State once again to take on the AFC South leading Texans. Head coach Dan Campbell joins me in the studio soon to preview that matchup. We'll be right back. Inside the Pride is presented by Whisker and brought to you by the Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford Health, and by Meyer. This week on Inside the Pride, I am joined by defensive assistant Jim O'Neill. When we see you out there coaching, you're with the safeties. And right now, you have two of the highest graded safeties in your room in Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. Why is that duo playing at such a high level right now?
For one, they're a lot of fun to coach. I think that they both love football, so that always makes it easy. And two, they both have incredible instincts. You know, one obviously in the deep part of the field, one in man coverage and down closer to the box, and they just have playmaking ability. So it's been a fun ride. I'm looking forward to the second half of the year here with them.
Off the field for Branch and Joseph, they seem like polar opposites, personality-wise. Kirby's very loud. You've got Brian, who's a little bit quieter. Why do their playing skills complement each other so well on the field?
Both those guys have different superpowers. You know, Kirby's superpowers in the deep part of the field, and I think where he's taken his game to the next level is he's starting to understand where the ball is supposed to go from a quarterback perspective. So he's able to steal a step on those throws that are downfield. BB's got incredible instincts in the box, and just his versatility and what we can do with him when it comes to blitzing, playing man coverage on tight ends and slot receivers, also playing in the deep part of the field or playing underneath zones makes him a problem for offenses.
You talk about Kirby stealing steps. He's also stealing balls from quarterbacks.
That's right.
Excellent in pass coverage, but when he needs to come up and blitz, he can make some big plays like that pick six at Green Bay. What kind of threat is he up near the line?
Absolutely, and he's been all over me. He's been all over AG about blitzing more, trying to record his first career sack. He got his first career pick six, which was awesome to see. But yeah, it just again shows his instincts and his ball skills. I mean, obviously we had pressure on Jordan Love, and he saw the running back, and you know, kind of Kirby's sixth sense, he felt the running back and then retreated from the pressure and was able to make a hell of a catch and then obviously finish it in the end zone. I was really surprised that there wasn't a better end zone celebration. I think because it was his first time ever in the end zone, he did not know what to do with himself.
A big position change came for Brian Branch this past offseason when he was moved from nickel to safety, and he has been thriving ever since. When did those conversations start taking place to move Branch to safety?
Day one.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as we got here, we watched the cut-ups, and he was too good of a player to be standing on the sideline in base situations. So we very quickly talked about, does he have the ability to play base and nickel, which he still does know nickel. He still gets some reps in there if we need him to ever go down. He's been so awesome at the safety position, and having him on the field 100% of the time has been a huge advantage for us. Mm-hmm. And we still use him in nickel jobs, and that's what his versatility gives us, because we can be in base personnel versus 3 wide receiver sets, and BB can drop down and do nickel type jobs, which a lot of teams don't have the ability to do that.
Secondary has stepped up when there haven't been as many pressures up front along that defensive line, with Aiden Hutchinson going down and a few other injuries. What does a player like Za'Darius Smith do up front that can help you in the secondary?
Yeah, I mean, anytime we can add guys that can get after the quarterback, it helps the DBs, because the clock in the quarterback's head, you know, gets going, and he knows he's got to get rid of the ball, instead of, if there's not a pass rush, then obviously he can hold on to the ball and guys got to cover for another second or two. But again, I think our front seven's done an outstanding job, especially in obvious passing situations, putting pressure on quarterbacks, or at least making them move in the pocket. A lot of times, you know, when you don't get sacks, that doesn't mean that we're not affecting the quarterback. And a lot of those plays where we're getting interceptions or we're making plays on the ball, the quarterback is affected, whether we're hurrying them or we're hitting them.
Houston Texans are up next. They're leading the AFC South. They've dropped their last 2 of 3, but what are their biggest weapons that your defense needs to look out for?
They're loaded. Yeah. I mean, they have one of the best running backs in the game. They got a deep wide receiver group. The quarterback's playing at a high level. I know they're explosive on defense, so it's going to be a great challenge for us.
Welcome back to Inside the Pride. I'm now joined by head coach Dan Campbell, and the trade deadline has come and gone. You land defensive end Za'Darius Smith from Cleveland. 5 sacks so far on the season. Why does he make sense for your defense?
Yeah, I mean, Brad and I talked about just finding a complementary piece, somebody that really can do everything for you. He's got experience. He's still got plenty in the tank, plays with violence, set an edge, get an edge in pass rush, finish on the quarterback. We feel like this guy can do really a little bit of everything, and he'll complement Pascal and those guys, Mac, Reader inside.
Every one of his Pro Bowl seasons have come when he played in the NFC North, so it's a good omen already.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll be taking on the Houston Texans. That offense, led by C.J. Stroud, is number 2 in the NFL for allowing sacks. However, like you're about to see, when you allow Stroud to sit in the pocket for forever and a day, he's going to find Nico Collins downfield. How do you take that threat away?
You do. You got to press the pocket. We got to get in on this guy. They have an excellent scheme to let him sit back here and find these guys. And I tell you what, man, this guy, he knows how to play the quarterback position for a young guy. He can see it. He's got a quick release, big arm. And honestly, man, it's going to take effort. It's going to take effort and finish, and you got to strain to get there, because if you don't, he can make these kind of throws. And now having another weapon back, that's only going to help this guy.
Houston has a top 10 rushing attack led by running back Joe Mixon, who has 4 straight games with over 100 rushing yards. Why is he still so productive, even in year 8?
The more you've been in this league, the more you mature, and the better you get. And as long as your body, you stay on top of your health and taking care of yourself, and you train, recover, then it's about, man, you're only growing as a player. And I feel like this guy he's not falling off the cliff. He's in great shape. He's still in his prime, and so he's just, man, his vision, everything about it, his finish has gotten so much better. And he's got a knack for finding the holes. He knows how to run after contact. It's going to take population of football and rally around this guy to get him down, because he's not easy to get down.
Defensively, Houston's unit is clicking at a pretty high level. If you look at the pass rush, you've got Will Anderson on one side, 7.5 sacks. He left the game versus the Jets with an injury, so a little questionable right now. On the other side, Danielle Hunter, the former Viking, 5.5 sacks. Why is that duo so lethal right now when they're both on the field?
Yeah, look, they can both press the pocket, and they can do it in a hurry. All right, strong, violent. They both have length to them. So, man, you go out and you're getting ready to anchor about that time, they pop you, and then they slip inside or spin around. And that's where it's dangerous, because they have speed, they have power, and they have strength. And so all of a sudden, man, you hit this thing, and I'm getting ready for this bull, and then I rip it inside. Well, he's too dang strong and physical. So they're both that way. It's a violent defense. Danielle Hunter's still a hell of a player, but I like our 2 tackles on these guys.
This Monday, you said that you can win a ball game with any type of style of play you need to. So going up Sunday Night Football against the Texans, what style of football do you need to play to win?
Well, look, I think, honestly, I think we need to get explosives. Like, I think that's the name of the game. And every week we're going to say we're going to need to run the ball. You know, we're going to have to take care of them. We need to get takeaways on defense. But honestly, I feel like this is a game we need to really come out and we need to get these explosives down the field. Our receivers need to show up for us. You know, I think Gibbs and Montgomery, man, they got to show up in the run game, and we got to get these chunks. The chunks are going to be big in a game like this.
All right, Coach, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
For the first time in his NFL career, tight end Brock Wright will play in his hometown of Houston. One Pride Productions hitched a ride down to Big Dog Ranch to learn more about the Cypress, Texas native. All right, Brock, let's go to Texas. Paint the picture of what high school football looked like for you.
It was a blast. I loved it. We had I went to a pretty big school. Football was king down there. So every weekend people would get pretty fired up for the games. Friday nights, games would be packed. I don't know, it was a really fun time.
Was it a big football family, your brother and then your mom and dad? That's just what your world revolved around?
Yeah, my dad played at Texas Tech, and then my older brother played at Rice. So, I mean, growing up, I always knew that's what I wanted to do. So I tell people I didn't really have a plan B. It was always football or bust.
How did your football career take off at Cy-Fair High School?
Well, I was fortunate to have an older brother that played a few years ahead of me. He kind of showed me the ropes when I got to school. I was real close with him and his friends. They were like older brothers to me. We just loved playing football all the time. Had some awesome coaches that kind of helped set me up for my future there. So I'm very thankful for Cy-Fair.
Something very unique about the Wright family is the ranch that your family owns. How has this ranch played a factor in your life now on the other end of it while you're grown, but you get to go back home still to it?
Yeah, it's been really cool. So it's actually named the Big Dog Ranch. That's my dad's grandpa nickname. And the logo is actually two of the dogs that my parents have owned.
How big is it? How many acres?
It's just under 400 acres now, I want to say. So my dad bought it back in 2019. He bought it kind of as a place to be a sanctuary for the family, us to go out and be together. There's a bunch of exotic animals, a lot of cool stuff out there to see. So it's fun to go out there, fish, ride around, hunt, whatever, and just be with the family.
What was your reaction when your dad said, hey, I'm gonna go buy a 400-acre ranch?
We were excited. I mean, growing up, he would always take me and my brother out to the hill country or wherever, go hunt on deer leases, but it was always kind of the goal to have our own land. And of course, him and his family had some up in, West Texas, but that's far for us. So he was able to get some land closer to where we could, just drive over on weekends or whatever. It stinks I'm up here. I don't get to use it as much as everyone else or be with them down there, but it kind of makes the times I get to a lot more special.
Is it just an open 400? Obviously, there's a fence somewhere, but for the most part, it's open 400 acres.
Yeah, you pull in, and then there's a little. They have kind of a barn dominium that my parents redid. So it's a garage. They have 2 rooms and then a bunk room, and kitchen, living room, everything. It's pretty nice. And that's fenced in. And then once you go outside the fence, it's kind of just where all the exotics live. So there's trees everywhere, but then kind of little pathways that you can take the rangers everywhere. So you can just drive around and go sightsee almost. It's like driving through Jurassic Park almost, yeah.
So that's your sanctuary in the off season?
Yeah.
Let's break down the exotic animal part of this. What is on this ranch?
There's a lot. I probably couldn't name all the species right now sitting here, but I think there's 9 different species. The one I tell people they get most excited about is the zebras.
Sure.
There's 4 zebras out there, and people think that's pretty cool. But there's also nilgai, gemsbok, axis.
You have to tell me what these things are.
A lot of them are either African or Indian, like native to Africa or India, but Texas has had these big exotic ranches for so long. They're kind of native to Texas now.
What does this franchise mean to you now going into season 4?
It means the world. It's hard to explain how special the culture is here. I don't know anything else in the NFL, but I feel like we have something here that they don't have other places. So to be able to stay here in a place where it feels like family, feels like home, and then also a place where I know we're going to continue to have success, it means the world.
Yeah. How did you just keep building year after year?
My tight end coach my rookie year was Ben Johnson, and he used to always say you have 3 jobs as a football player. It's to compete, to produce, and to improve. I've taken that to heart. I tell people our job as players is really just to improve every day, and if you do that, then the performance will come. And we're all competitors, so that'll always be there. I
know you would not have been upset if the Texans did call you out of Notre Dame, but you will get a chance to go play at NRG Stadium for the first time ever this season. Week 10, Sunday Night Football. I mean, how special is it to be playing in your hometown and being in these big games as well?
It's cool. It's really neat. This last year, having Detroit and Texans both in the playoffs, I feel like all my friends and family back home, they had 2 teams to root for. And so it's cool to see both teams have success, and now the chance to play each other will be pretty neat.
They're not going to be Team Texans when you're there, right?
No, definitely not. Or they're not invited to another game.
They can buy their own tickets then.
I know my dad, brother will be really excited, sister. My mom's always stressed when she has to host everybody, so I'm kind of worried about her actually, because whole family's going to be there and she's going to try and keep tabs on everybody, but hopefully she can relax and enjoy the game.
Wishing for something special? Maybe it's VIP seats, the meal of a lifetime, or an unforgettable journey. Whatever it is, Community Financial Credit Union can make it a reality. Share your impossible dream at impossibledreams.org by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Welcome back. These Detroit Lions sure are making my job easy when it comes to Rogers Rewind. Jared Goff has been on a heater as of late, and he now becomes the only quarterback ever to go into Green Bay and pick up 3 wins in a row. That is it. Shout out to Rich Eisen for that great nugget. Goff wasn't fazed by the rain and wind inside Lambeau, and neither was this man. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, I don't even know how he could see his call sheet. Defense wasn't fazed though, but can we get him a hat? Maybe some windshield wipers for those glasses? Wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown became the fastest Detroit Lion to 4,000 receiving yards in franchise history, and he also scored a touchdown on 4th down. This is how he chose to celebrate. He saw Drake London do the headstand earlier in the day, so St. Brown said, hey, I'm gonna one-up you. I can't wait to see what his next celly is. One pride showed up inside Lambeau once again on the road. No surprise. Honestly, is this Green Bay or Detroit? Regardless, Detroit is going to need all of one Pride in Houston this coming Sunday. Detroit is slated for Sunday Night Football once again. Kickoff is at 8:20 on NBC. We can't wait to see you there. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the Pride.